All right, guys, well, we're going to jump into our housing market update segment. So, I've got some insights to share with you about what's happening in our local real estate market. So, the information that I'm going to be sharing with you is from January 13th to January 20th. We are measuring all of the numbers that I bring to you in 1 week increments, and we're watching very closely to see if there's any impact based on the changes with Blue Oval to our housing market. And so, to tell you a little bit about myself, I'm Rachel Brantingham. I've been in real estate for almost a decade in our community. Grew up in the housing industry with my father, who's a builder. So the market that we're going to be particularly discussing today is Hardin County. Okay. So here's a quick snapshot of what we're seeing in the market right now. Over the last week, 28 new listings came on the market. We saw 21 homes go under contract and 9 families moved into their new homes. So looking at market pace, the average days on market of the last 30 days is 93. That's down 1 day from last week. While that's a very small, subtle shift, it continues a steady trend as we move deeper into the new year. So we were at 95, now we moved to 94. Now last week we were down to 93. So it's not much, but it still speaks to the fact that the market is slowly, incrementally going in the right direction, not the opposite direction. Okay. From an inventory standpoint, there are currently 394 active homes on the market, and we've seen 62 homes sell in the last 30 days. So that puts us at approximately 6.4 months of inventory, which technically nudges us closer to a buyer leaning market. Anything over 5 months of inventory, it's considered a buyer's market. However, if you remember last week, we were at 4.2. So big jump. Where's the discrepancy? You got to consider that the measurement that I'm taking from the last 30 days has Christmas, New Year's, has all of those holidays kind of bunched up in it right there at the end of the year. And so though I'm giving you this information because it is something that I promise to bring to you guys weekly, and though it is a measurement tool, I would encourage you all not to take so much stock in that number, just because you had a couple weeks in there where title companies were closed, lenders were closed. So I don't feel like it's an accurate measurement of really what we're going to see going into the rest of the year. When it comes to pricing, over the last 30 days, the average list price for homes across Hardin County was $344,676. Here's the big difference. While the average sold price came in at $304,439. What does this gap tell us? It once again tells us that buyers are remaining very price conscious and are negotiating carefully. So, listing your home at an accurate, reasonable evaluation. Don't shoot for the stars right now, guys. It's as a seller, you're just not getting top. Now, if it's in immaculate condition, stage the nines, you can certainly go for it, but just know that you're probably going to end up on the higher scale of days on market. Typically, buyers they're looking for a good deal, and they're probably negotiating you down off that deal a little bit. So what we're seeing right now is the first 2 weeks on the market still matter, but we also are seeing renewed momentum. Several homes that have been sitting are now receiving offers, which is encouraging both buyers and sellers. With interest rates holding steady, buyers are re-engaging and taking advantage of the inventory that's available, while sellers are benefiting from a fresh wave of activity. One thing I want to note, it's not something that I'm not going to hang my hat on this just because I don't have the full details, but I have noticed an increase in military buyers looking in the community and military tenants. So what I've been told, and I've not had a chance to confirm this information, but that there is an off-cycle PCS season occurring due to the government shutdown that we saw in the fall. And so anyway, if you're selling right now, you'll probably note that a substantial amount of this movement is being caused by the military buyers that are looking in the area as they relocate. We're seeing rates right now, conventional is about 5.99. We're finally under that 6%. It is nice to be back in this range, guys. And then VA rates are near 5.75. We're once again, we're closely monitoring the impact of Blue Oval, but what we're seeing is really no difference. So as it stands right now, we will continue to monitor that as we go forward, but I'm not seeing any impacts. We're seeing the statistical and historical trends that typically occur during. All right, guys. Well, as always, real estate is hyper local. This number that is my personal cell number, that phone is in my hands almost 24/7. So if you want to know what this information means to you specifically, I love to strategize. I love to look at homes and help you figure out how to get the highest and best for the property. So if I can be or my team can be a part of that process, we'd love to. Use local. We've got amazing realtors here. You can't go wrong. I work amongst a group of peers that are phenomenal. So, as always, real estate is hyper local. National headlines don't always tell the full story here at home, which is why we track this data weekly and bring this to you. I'll keep you updated as the market evolves. Thank you.